transportation. Federal government set to deploy over 700 selected personnel to local government areas for National Health Fellows Program. On the foreign scene, Palestinian militants began handover of 3 Israeli hostages in latest stage of ceasefire deal. And in sport, thousands of fans fill stadium for Indian cricketer Virat Kohli's first domestic match in 12 years. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says his administration will continuously partner with France in agriculture, public transportation and other areas of interest. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who stated this during a visit by the Ambassador of France to Nigeria, Marc Fonbostier, at the Lagos House Marina, says Lagos will continue to do whatever it takes to improve the mutually beneficial relationship it has with France. He says Lagos is important to France, adding that the state will fashion out how to improve the mutually beneficial relationship, even as a subnational, as compared to both sovereign in France and Nigeria. Speaking earlier, Ambassador Marc Fonbostier commended Governor Sanwo-Olu, who he described as a driving force and an inspirational leader for his leadership in Lagos State, noting that the governor is on the right track. He said his visit to Lagos is to sustain what is on track in terms of deepening the relationship between Lagos and France, as well as launching more ambitious projects because of the belief in Lagos State. The Lagos State Ministry of Justice has organized a workshop themed Empowering the Backbone of the Ministry for Enhanced Productivity and Service Delivery in an effort to enhance the capacity and professional skills of junior officers. Speaking at the opening ceremony, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro, said the event marks the first time in several years that the ministry is hosting a workshop of this nature, underscoring its unwavering commitment to nurturing and empowering its invaluable human resources. He commended the junior officers, acknowledging them as the backbone of the ministry. Pedro also praised their dedication, resilience, and vital contributions, emphasizing the importance of empowering and celebrating them. He further underscored the critical role of junior officers in achieving the ministry's mandate and urged participants to continue demonstrating diligence and resilience in their duties. President Bola Tinubu has been urged to be more proactive in the fight against insecurity and prevent its spread to the southwest of the country. This appeal was made by the Supreme Head, Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria, Prophet Solomon Alao, at a press briefing ahead 2025 General Annual Conference. Alao also urged the presidency to fight corruption, reduce the cost of governance, boost food security, and engage religious leaders towards implementing government policies and other policies at the grassroots. He enjoined politicians to desist from using religion and tribalism to divide the people. On her part, founder of Love of Christ Generation Church, Reverend Mother Esther Ajayi, who prayed for the leaders to be purposeful in leadership, urged Nigerians to be hopeful because the country will be great. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government says it will deploy the 774 Nigerians selected for the National Health Fellows Program to local government areas in the country. According to the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pate, the program, designed to develop a new generation of healthcare leaders through strategic capacity building, professional development and impactful field work, is for Nigerian professionals from diverse fields. He clarified that the program is not meant to address the exodus of health personnel, as the fellows are not expected to work in the healthcare industry as clinical staff in health facilities, but to support management functions and delivery of critical development roles needed to achieve health outcomes. It will be recalled that the federal government recently launched the National Health Fellows Program, led by the Nigeria Health Sector Renewal Investment Initiative and sector-wide approach under the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The wife of the president of Nigeria, Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off the distribution of professional kits to midwives by the Renewed Hope initiative. According to Mrs. Tinubu, the efforts of midwives and health professionals continue to be pivotal to attaining the reduction of maternal and child mortality in Nigeria. She says the demands of health profession transcend skill and compassion, as the right tools and infrastructure are also needed. While commending the leadership and staff of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Mrs. Tinubu appealed to Nigerians to keep encouraging health workers for their tireless efforts. Now to foreign news. Palestinian militants have handed over three Israeli hostages in Gaza in return for 110 Palestinian prisoners to be freed in the latest stage of a ceasefire deal. An Israeli soldier, Agam Berger, was led through a narrow alley between heavily damaged buildings and over piles of rubble in Jabalia in northern Gaza before being handed to the Red Cross. Gadi Moses, 80, and Abel Yahud, 29, both abducted from Kibbutz Nir Oz in the Hamas-led assault on Israel on October 7, 2023, hugged one another in the presence of masked gunmen in black uniforms. A video released by Hamas ally Islamic Jihad showed. They are expected to be handed over at another site in Khan Yunis in southern Gaza. In our sport, thousands of fans have filled a stadium in the Indian capital Delhi as Virat Kohli makes his much-anticipated return to domestic cricket after more than 12 years. The 36-year-old star batter has turned out for Delhi on Thursday in the Ranji Trophy match against the Railways team at the well-attended Arun Jaitley Stadium. Kohli's return follows the National Cricket Board's directive for contracted players to play domestic cricket after India's 3-1 Border Gavaskar Trophy loss to Australia. It also comes amid a personal lean patch in Test cricket, where the former Indian captain has struggled for consistency in recent years. And that is on news at noon. Just before we go, always obey road signs and traffic lights. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch your news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration strengthened alliance with 200 representatives from various women-focused NGOs in the state as part of efforts to alleviate the economic plight of women residents in the state? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said his administration would continuously partner with France in agriculture, public transportation, and other areas of interest. The federal government has revealed plans to deploy the 774 Nigerians selected for the National Health Fellows Program to local government areas in the country. We also told you that Palestinian militants have handed over 3 Israeli hostages in Gaza in return for 110 Palestinian prisoners to be freed in the latest stage of a ceasefire deal. And in sport, thousands of fans have filled a stadium in the Indian capital Delhi as Virat Kohli makes his much-anticipated return to domestic cricket after more than 12 years. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That is news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Itowolaya. I am Dele Agadumo. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening.